your fucking hands up.
Okay, so I've been getting some messages sa Investa or sa Facebook or sa Twitter asking me how I set up my charts. Okay? So, this video, yun yung pag-uusapan natin. Paano ko nga ba sineset up yung mga charts ko? Now, before we continue, um, yung overlying philosophy ko sa pag-set up ng chart is always to keep it as clean as possible. Diba? Kaya nga yung title ng video natin for today is Clean Charts, Clean Mind. Meron kasing research na nagsasabi na our brain can only process so much at any given time. So, because trading is such a decision-intensive job, di ba? Parang at any given time, marami tayong mga micro decisions na ginagawa. Uy, papunta na yung presyo, anong gagawin ko? Uy, paabot na dito yung ganito, anong gagawin ko? Then, I want to keep it as simple as possible with everything else. Para hanggat kaya, clutter-free yung utak ko. So when the time comes na kinakailangan kong gumawa ng desisyon, mas madali for me na gawin yon. Okay? Also, it's important to note that what works for me may not work for you. Okay? This is not an end-all and be-all na this is the only thing that will work for everyone. Hindi ako naniniwala sa ganun. Okay? With that said, let's get started. So, whenever you load up a chart for the first time sa Investa, odds are medyo parang ganito yung makukuha nyo itsura. Okay? Maaari na hindi to yung pinaka-default kasi it's been years since I used yung default mode eh. So I may have forgotten to set up na yung saktong-sakto sa bago, di ba? Sa fresh. So, if so, adjust na lang ng konti. But more or less, this is what I do. First, you right-click anywhere on the chart and then you hide marks on bars. Yung mga E and D sa baba, yun yung nawawala. If I want to see yung earnings and dividends, I'll just go check them. I can easily turn this back on if I really need to see them. But by and large, at the start of the day, kung hindi ko alam na may mangyayaring ganun, kung kinakailangan ko ng bilog para paalalahanan ako na, uy, mangyayaring ganito today, then I'm doing things wrong. May mali. Dapat pagising ko pa lang, bago pa ako tumapak, bago pa ako mag-on ng platform, alam ko na yan eh. Dapat pinagplanuhan ko na yan eh. Okay, so I remove those. We don't need those. The next thing is, we go to settings. Sa appearance, I tend to remove yung vertical and horizontal grid lines. And the way you do that is yung opacity, ilalagay nyo lang sa 0. It doesn't matter what color it is. Pag nilagay nyo sa 0, parang ganyan, magiging transparent na siya. So, di nyo na siya makikita. Okay? Then I also remove the watermark. Bakit? Kasi dito sa upper right, nandiyan naman ako ano yung tinitignan kong chart eh. I really don't need a stark reminder in the middle of my screen telling me na, uy, i-aji yan. Okay? I don't need it. I don't want to see it. I want it simple, so it's gone. Okay? Now, after that, ang next na like kong ginagawa is I like my charts to be as devoid of color as possible. Which means na I like my candles to be black and white all throughout. Now, you may be thinking, bakit yung mga ibang pinopost mong chart makulay? Well, partly, kasi kapag nagpo-post tayo sa Investa or sa social media and you want to catch some people's attention, then you want to make it a little bit colorful. Di ba? Para mas nakakatawag pansin. Pero yung personal chart ko, yung ginagamit ko talaga, when I trade, when I look, when I observe, is ganito. Black and white lang yung lahat. And the reason for that is may nabasa rin ako research before na colors tend to skew our bias. Meaning, kapag nakakita tayo ng malaking green candle or malaking red candle, mas nandyan yung propensity na magpapanik ka or magiging sobra kang saya. So keeping it clean, keeping it colorless, tends to supposedly help with emotions a bit. And nasanay na rin yung mata ko. Kasi nga para sa akin, ganito, simple lang. Dadalawa lang yung kulay na tinitignan ko. Okay? Then yung last value line, I also change it to like a light gray color. You can make it lighter or darker, whatever you like. Sa akin, light lang kasi hindi naman siya super important sa akin. It's just a quick reminder of where price currently is. But it's not paramount. It's not what's important to me. It's not what stands out to me in my charts. So I keep it light just so it's there. Just so if I need it, madali lang siyang makita. Okay? So ganito yung settings ko dito sa symbol na tab. As you can see, black and white lang lahat ng candles. Then kulay gray lang tong line. Okay? Then dito sa status line, ganun din. I remove the symbol. Again, alam ko naman anong chart yung tinitingnan ko. I don't need any other reminders telling me na, oh, AJIAN, Alliance Global, whatever. Okay, I don't need it. So I turn it off. Okay? I also don't need the open market status. Alam ko kailan bukas at sarado yung market. Kung kinakailangan nyo ng reminder para malaman yon, then wag muna kayong mag-trade. Review muna tayo ulit, no? Medyo dehado tayo. Lalo na ngayon, naikli lang naman ng hours natin sa PSE. Okay, OHLC values, I tend to leave. Just so it's fast for me when I hover on the candle, I can see yung open, high, low, and close values niya. Bar change values, I tend to remove. I don't need to see kung ilang percent ang inangat ng candle in one day. Okay, it's not important to me or my strategy, but if you need it, by all means, leave it in. Then dito sa indicator titles, I tend to remove yung indicator arguments. What's yung indicator arguments? Yan yung kapag sa mga MA, para lang makita mo kung MA20, MA50, MA100, things like that. I don't need it. So, kunyari to, volume, may nakalagay dito, 20. So, I take it off. I don't need to see. I know my settings and I don't need to be reminded of them constantly. Okay? I also untick tong background. So, everything's gone. Okay? It's fast, it's simple. Not only is it easier for me on my eyes, it also makes my charts load just a little bit faster, and that might be an edge you need over the next guy, lalo na kapag may minamadali kayong gawin. Okay? Dito sa scales, I tick off itong countdown to bar close because as I said, I don't need a reminder na, oh, 30 minutes na lang matatapos na yung 1 hour candle or, oh, 5 minutes na lang matatapos na yung araw. Dapat aware ka sa time. Hindi mo kailangan ng nagpapaalala pa sa'yo sa loob ng chart. Okay? And that's it. Ganito kasimple lang ang chart ko by default. Now, sa volume, ayoko rin ng red and green. Hindi naman mahalaga sa akin kung red or green yung volume. It's irrelevant. Pinaparehas lang naman niya sa candle. Bakit pa kailangan magkaiba yung kulay? So, I just make everything one color. Okay, so let's make it something like this. Okay, so para lang mas kita sa screen natin. So, yan. Now, I don't use volume MA, but I know some people do. So, for the purposes of this video, iiwan ko siya naka-on. So, what I do is usually is line lang. Okay, ayoko nung area, ayoko ng histogram, line lang. Para lang hindi siya cluttered, madali lang siyang makita. Yun lang naman kailangan mo makita. Kailangan ba bang makita na blue sa ilalim? No. Kailangan mo lang naman makita yung line ng MA dito sa volume if you do look at it. Okay? And yun na. Yun na yung settings. Everything is simple. Everything is plain. Okay? Nothing on the screen screams, oh, notice me, notice me. And may dahilan yun. Because even though I won't show you kung ano mga MAs na pwedeng ilagay, kasi sobrang dami. If I allocate time to show one MA or two MAs, then I will have questions for so many MAs na kailangan ba ganito, kailangan ba ganyan? Okay, so what I will show you is how I mark up or how I map my higher time frame levels. So I always start sa weekly. Okay? Note lang, these won't be accurate. I'm just gonna throw on lines. Kaya na bahala mag-accurate. But for my support and resistance levels, sa weekly, I want it number 1 in red. And that's just me, personally. Then I want it to be a thicker line. Like so. Bakit? Kasi sa utak ko, nag-relate na kapag mas makapal tong linya, mas matigas siya. Diba? Now, it may not make sense to you. And again, if it doesn't make sense to you, feel free to not do this. Pero sa akin, in my mind, it makes sense. Madali siyang paalala sa akin. And it's in red because I want to be aware. I want my eyes to automatically be drawn sa mga levels ng higher time frames kasi sila yung mas mahalaga eh. Okay? Then I also make sure na yung mga higher time frame levels ko, mga higher time frame levels ko can be seen in all time frames. Okay, so kita siya sa weekly, kita siya sa daily, and so on. Why is that important? Because the way that I draw my daily levels is, number one, I make this thinner, and then I make it color orange. You can choose any color you want. I just like orange, and I'll explain why later. Okay? I make it orange na manipis kasi it's still a higher time frame level. It's a daily level. So, matigas pa rin siya. Pero mas manipis siya, hindi siya kasing tigas ng weekly time frame. Okay? And then, I also change this na hindi siya makikita sa weekly. Meaning, if I go to the weekly chart, hindi nyo makikita yung orange na line. Makikita lang siya sa daily chart. And this is important kasi gusto ko, pag nakatingin ako sa isang specific na time frame, yung nagmamatter lang sa akin is yung mga levels na important sa time frame na yon, which is yung level for that particular time frame or higher. So, pag pumunta naman ako sa lower time frame pa, so let's say I was looking at the hourly time frame, okay? I don't typically do this sa PSE, but I do this sa Forex. So, baka may ibang magtaka, bakit yung ibang chart mo may kulay green? Okay, so sa Forex, I do this, pero sa PSE, I very rarely do. I like my lower time frame levels to be green, and I like them to be dashed lines. Again, yung logic sa utak ko is um, gusto parang porous siya, 'di ba? Siya yung pinakamanipis na level ko, lower time frame nga eh. So porous siya, butas-butas. So pag nakita ko pa lang right there, maalala ko na okay, hindi ko ine-expect na maging sobrang tigas ng level na yan dahil siya yung level na porous. Siya yung level sa lower time frames. Now, bakit green, orange, and red? Nasanay lang kasi ako na medyo stoplight or traffic light yung dating. So, yung pag red, stop kasi siya yung pinakamatigas na level. Green tends to be more go, go, go kasi nga hindi ko naman ine-expect na mag-hold. It's just a level that I look at na, okay, if price crosses this level, then pwede tayong mag-go. Kaya green, di ba? And then orange kasi para lang matapatan ko yung yellow, and yellow on white is just masakit sa mata. Hindi ko gano'n nakikita. Okay? So yun lang yun. Wala siyang ibang symbolism or anything. Yun lang yun. It's easy for me to identify it in my head. Kaya ganun yung pag-setup ko sa kanya. Okay? And as I said, itong level na to, makikita lang siya sa hourly and below. So again, when I go to my weekly, makikita ko lang is yung weekly level. When I go to my daily, makikita ko lang is yung daily and weekly level. And then finally, when I go to lower time frames, I can see my hourly, daily, and weekly levels. Okay? Now, I'm aware na iba sa inyo gumagamit ng zones. Okay? I do too. So, the way I do it naman for zones is I tend to keep it color neutral. Okay? So, same as with yung mga levels, kapag sa daily lang important yung zone, di naman siya visible sa weekly, then I just make sure nakita siya sa daily lang. Now, how you do that is you go to visibility, okay? And then you check or uncheck yung mga time frames na gusto niyo makita yung area or zone na yun. So, kunyari, itong particular zone na to, sa daily ko siya nakita. Again, I'm not saying it's accurate. Example lang po. Sa weekly, hindi mo siya makikita. Okay? Pero pag pumunta ka sa hourly, makikita mo siya. Okay? I like to keep it gray or color neutral. Again, para lang hindi siya sagabal. I can see it. It's a huge shape, diba? It's impossible for you to miss it. Pero hindi siya like screaming neon pink or something that calls for my attention each and every single time. Kasi nga, ang gusto ko lang naman talaga bigyan ng pansin is kung paano gumagalaw yung price. Diba? Kung kunwari, ganito siya, pink, hot pink, parang nakakatawag pansin siya eh. Kahit na pinaparod ko yung price, parang tinatawag yung mata ko nung pink na, na level. So, I just keep it color neutral para again, yung mata ko nandun lang so kung saan yung importante. Pag lumapit yung presyo sa mga levels ko, mapapansin ko agad. 'Di ba? Kasi alam ko ano yung significance sila lahat. Lahat sila organized, structured, and laid out properly. Hindi sila magulo. It doesn't clutter up my mind. And whenever I need to make decisions based off of them, madali lang siya for me kasi lahat ng bagay are in their place. Okay, kumbaga sa pagluluto, naka-mise en place. Okay, so I hope nakatulong sa inyo to, no? Clean chart, clean mind. And if it did help you, or if you do like the content that I produce, please, it will really help me out if you give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. Okay, para patuloy nating mapalaki yung channel together and makapag-post ako ng further content na makakatulong sa inyo and hopefully uh, makatulong din sa trading nyo. Okay, thanks and have a nice day.